I left off on part 2 saying how I got stood up by my second baby daddy on our date, and later on that day I ended up meeting my husband. And I wish my sister was on here to testify like that I'm not capping. Earlier that day I was on the phone with my sister and I was complaining. I'm like, dang, I ain't gonna be able to, I can't find a husband to save my life. And she was laughing at me and whatnot, but little did we both know that I was gonna end up meeting my husband that same day. And I had on my Catching Man outfit too, and I caught me one. But and I told her that I was like, I told her what I had on, like, bruh, and I got me one. If y'all want to know what the outfit was, let me know. But anyway, what else can I say, y'all? But yes, like the Bible say, a righteous man's steps are ordered by the Lord. Even though I was living in willing sin and in and out of the world, and back and forth between church and the world, a righteous man falls 7 times. And God was orchestrating this whole thing, and we didn't even realize it. Like, God knew what he was doing. Because like I said, my husband I wasn't even looking. I was looking for a husband, but when I ran into him, I didn't even recognize that it was my husband. It didn't even dawn on me right away that this was him. I mean, you know, I knew it was something different and special about him, but it didn't click. It didn't click like this is him. So, and remember in part 1, I told y'all I had an open vision of how my husband would look. I didn't have full details on how exactly what he looked like. I could just see like the silhouette. I knew he was going to be light-skinned, tall, and slim. And guess what? My husband is light-skinned, tall, and slim. So, this was like years apart from when I had that vision, so it did not dawn on me that this is him. So, anywho, and I know y'all probably wondering, like, okay, well, why you ain't try to make it work with your last baby daddy, and why that didn't work, why you didn't marry him? I wanted to, and that I made my last baby daddy chase me for 2 years because he's 16 years older than me. So I finally gave him a chance, and when I gave him a chance, he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get out of the streets, we gonna get married, yada yada yada. And you know, me being young, dumb, full of cum, I'm listening to what he's saying instead of what he's showing me. So when I ended up getting pregnant, he hit me with, oh, I ain't marrying nobody. And he was still in the streets. Like, all that he was talking about was baloney. That man was still in the streets, didn't marry me, didn't want to get married, still don't want to be married. So I said, okay, you know what, bet. I left him immediately, and I found out some other stuff he was doing behind my back. And 2 months later, like, after I left him, I started praying and seeking God again for real, trying to get back close to God. And you know, I'm like, God, I got 3 babies out of wedlock now. I want to be married. I want to get out of fornication. I want to do this the right way, and I need a godly man for my children. I want a husband, a real family for my kids. So 2 months later, I ended up meeting my husband. Now, put a pin in it, y'all. I'm gonna come back with part 4. All right.